You're the guy people call when they need a helping hand, moving furniture, unloading a truck. But lately, your shoulder's been acting up, and you're the one who's calling for help. And that's the moment you realize you can no longer shoulder the load.
The Joint and Spine Center is Cincinnati's leading destination for orthopedic care with a range of surgical and non-surgical treatments. So when a moment has the power to change the rest of your life, go to the one place with the power to change it for the better, the Christ Hospital Health Network. This changes everything.
The Pound This Podcast is brought to you by the Christ Hospital Health Network. This is the Pound This Podcast, episode 755, update, Toria Cannon's journey from new mom to runner.
I want to lose weight, but I don't know how to get started.
What should I meal prep every week?
How do I get those sweet booty gains?
Inspiration for your healthy lifestyle. The Pound This Podcast with Amanda Valentine.
What up, friends? Before we get into this great conversation with Toria about how she's training for her 10K, I want to talk to you about my friend Sarah and Team Fit With Me. In this conversation with Toria, we actually start talking about nutrition and macros and figuring it out for her since she's a new mom and now she's becoming a runner. But if you have those same sort of questions, whether you're a new mom or a runner or you're looking to get stronger or you're looking to lose weight, no matter what your goals, Sarah and her team at Team Fit With Me can be an incredible team of health coaches for you to help you understand more about nutrition, work you through macros, help you with your physical fitness, help you with your mental health. Also, if you have thyroid diseases, PCOS, hormonal dysfunction, gut health conditions, they can help with that too. They have a meal plan add-on reviewed by a registered dietitian. I used the meal plan a couple weeks ago. It was fantastic. And right now you can get 10% off month one of all packages, plans, and add-on services when you go to teamfitwithme.com/poundthis, and you'll find that link in the show notes. Thank you so much for listening to the Pound This Podcast. I am Amanda Valentine, returning guest, Toria Cannon.
I'm here, baby.
You're here post-workout today.
And we're actually in the studio.
Yes, we had no back and forth trying to figure out virtual phone calls.
I wasn't in my closet in my third bedroom upstairs.
So to set this up, in case somebody missed your first episode, that you are training for your first 10K.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to run the Flying Pig 10K here in Cincinnati in May. You're doing the running club with Fleet Feet. You're cross-training with me here at Cincy 360 Fitness once a week. And you're a new mom. Mm-hmm. So we're also kind of working on doing some like core work and stuff like that to kind of post baby, which I think well, every human should do some sort of core work. We're all pretty weak in our core because we sit so much, but especially post baby.
Yeah, definitely.
So how's everything going so far? We're a month or so in.
I know. I can't believe it's been like, I think 6 weeks or 7 weeks since I started. Like, that's just crazy to think about. And I think about the mileage that we started at, like, I think it was a mile, and now we're at like 4 miles. I'm like, how am I running 4 freaking miles? Yeah. Like, I'm not kidding you. I was the kid in grade school when they were like, you have to run the mile. I'm like, no. And they'd be like, all right, Tori, we're at 15 minutes. Like, you'll have to do it again. Like, class is over. I'm like, no. Then I'd have to run it again because I was too slow.
Oh, yeah.
Now I'm like, how am I doing this? I'm still like a slow runner, but I feel good.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So I know some of these runs have been like super cold.
Oh my gosh. Let me just tell you, I feel like you're going to help me with like my macros and stuff and like kind of getting in good habits because I do need a little help with that. And I think if I can freaking run in 5-degree weather on ice and snow, why am I having such a hard time like counting macro? Like, I can do anything at that point.
Yeah, right?
Like, I felt like that was more dedication than like a full-on C-section.
Well, is a C-section dedication?
I mean,
I am dedicated to this C-section.
Like, that was the wrong terms, I guess. But I'm like,
you're saying that if you can survive a C-section, you can run on ice.
Yeah,
you can figure out. Your food.
I would honestly probably do a C-section over running in 5-degree weather, but I did it and I kicked butt and I was the only one from my group that showed up. So it was me running with 2 of the coaches, 2 of the trainers.
And when was that? Saturday morning?
This was right. Yeah. It wasn't when we got the super ice. It was the week before that where it was like 5 degrees and it was we had gotten snow, or maybe it was like 3 weeks ago. I don't remember, but I did it.
And I saw that for your run the other night, like you have on the vest and all the gear.
Oh, yeah.
Like, man, you're getting after it.
It is one of those things. I saw my neighbor sent me a TikTok that was just like when you are training for a run and you realize that spring runs mean winter training, and it's just like you're frozen.
Yeah, but it's like that. I don't know. It's like, this is my mindset towards that stuff is like, if you start out with it really hard, and then it gets easy. You're like, oh my God. Again, like that mindset of I can do anything, which is like, you just did sled pushes upstairs.
Yeah.
So I always start with the harder end first of like, let's get that
Yes,
over with.
that's
And
the
then it's
worst
like,
side.
oh, then like, let's do the easier side back of just, I kind of like do like, let's do the work and then the pain first and then the pleasure part. So it's like when you're going to start running, when it starts warming up, you're gonna be like, this is amazing.
I know. I'm like, what am I going to do when I can wear shorts?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But we were running, what was it? It was this past Tuesday we were running and it was 41 degrees. But, the temperature drops as we're out there at night. So the snow and slush was becoming icy. And this girl just runs past in a tank top and shorts. And I'm like, but I mean, true runners, they run, they know the temps that they can wear shorts and stuff. And I'm like bundled up, like sweating my butt off. But
I could never run in. I don't do anything in shorts. I got the chub rub.
I do too. It's not I have not found a pair of shorts that really help me.
Me either. Even like the legging sort of ones and whatever the spandex.
The bicycle ones.
Those,
no, thank you.
Like I don't know. I think my body is just shaped weird. I know it's way more in my head than anything, but even those will still kind of creep up in the middle. Like my crotch wants to eat them. Like no matter what I do, my
got
crotch
that camel
is
toe.
Yeah.
My problem with those is that they never come down far enough, so they're above my knee, and then that like little chub that you have that
the knee
underneath
chub.
and then they'll advertise them like they don't like influencers on Instagram will be like they don't like hold you here to where they like squeeze you like it's all flat, and I'm like, you're a liar, because then I'll buy them and I'm like, that's interesting because mine does.
Yeah, that doesn't bother me as much as just I just have so much extra skin on my thighs that like no matter what, it's just going to rub together.
Yeah.
And so like even when I wear dresses and stuff, I have to wear like bicycle shorts underneath them. Otherwise I'll have like that like burny, stingy
And it's
sort
uncomfortable.
of rash thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, I wish I could run in shorts or anything like that, but it would look like I'm wearing underwear. Like my crotch would be like
everyone's like, because my husband and I are going out to LA this weekend and they're like, oh, why aren't you packing shorts? And I did pack shorts for some of it, but I'm like, when it gets super hot, like I prefer to be in like a jean because my legs will stick together in shorts. I just get really uncomfortable. And I'm like, in jeans, I'm not hot because I'll wear like a tank top, but my legs don't rub together. Like I'm comfortable. And I'm like, mind your own freaking business.
Well, I have such a hard time working out with even long sleeves on. Like even here at the gym, like it's like I want a tank top to work out in. I've worked out a few times here in the past several weeks with longer sleeves on. But I don't know. There's just something about that of like, I just don't like my arms covered. Like I just feel like I need to be like looser and freer, even if it is like 5 degrees outside, that I want a tank top on to work. Like I think we all have our own
Oh,
tics
definitely.
and quirks.
Well, you
about
have
how that
really
works.
nice arms too, so I would show
thanks.
off those guns. You do. And I was
Quit
complimenting
hitting
your
on me.
legs today. Do I have a girl crush
Oh my goodness.
on Amanda Valentine?
Oh my God. Stop trying to make out with me. So how do you feel about obviously it's going to be hard to answer this because I'm the one training you, but do you feel good about like what we're doing here in the gym and feeling good about that? I mean, you're really strong. You're doing really good.
I feel good about it just because like you said, we're kind of you and I are exercising those muscles that you don't use at running, which I notice in running. And it's funny, even after I'm done with like a long run, for us, it's like 3.5 miles. That would be I know there's longer runs, but for someone who doesn't run 3.5 miles is a lot. I don't even notice my legs being as sore anymore because we stretch. And then I feel like working with you and kind of gaining that strength in other parts.
Yeah.
Has
Well, and today
helped
we
that.
used the vibrating foam roller.
Oh, that was nice. That was nice. Although it's like a good, like hurt nice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When it kind of digs in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really nice.
Nice.
I need to invest in one of those things.
Well, I know even Tanya, who's training for the Heart Mini, she's just kind of like, oh my God, I can't believe Toria is going from like never running before to a 10K. She's like, that's insane. And she's like so impressed by what you're doing. I'm like, that's a
so
jump.
nice because I feel like, and I guess I was talking to Jen about it, who works with Fleet Feet, because like I feel like it's like nothing in quotes, but it really is something for someone who never runs. Like my mile was basically like a walking pace. I just never liked it. whatever. But Jen was talking to me. We do interval training. So it's like 3 on, 1 minute off, or 3 running, 1 minute walking. And Jen was saying, she's like, I hate it when interval training gets such a bad rep, because she was talking about how she used to run like fulls and halves, and she would try to run as much as she could. And then she'd find herself walking a little bit and then running when she felt better. And she said doing interval training, like the proper way, she was able to shave like 30 minutes off her time. And I'm like, that's what I want. Like where I'm not, especially starting out, like gassing it to where I hate it.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to hate it.
Are you enjoying it?
Yes, I am enjoying it.
Yeah.
I have yet to run my community though, which is going to be one of my challenges because my community is so hilly. And next week for Fleet Feet group, we are doing hill runs or repeating hill runs or whatever it's called, where it's just like we run this hill like the entire time.
Ugh.
Up and down, up and down. Yeah. And I'm like, I feel like after we do that, I'm going to try to conquer that'll be like my next challenge that we talk about, like conquering my community. So
I know I'm getting ahead of myself here. So after you do the 10K, do you think that you're going to keep running after that?
I think that I will. I don't know if I'll ever do a half or a full.
A full is aggressive.
Yeah. But my neighbors are training for fulls right now. And I'm like, I got to watch their kids today because she's got to run 20 miles today. And she's like, it'll take me about 3 hours. And I'm like, nope. I'm like, good. Like I'll work out at the gym for an hour, maybe an hour and a half, depending on what you might need from me. But like 3 hours of a workout, I mean, that is like dedication.
It's a ton. And that's where it's so hard for runners, which is why, we're cross training. And it's so important to have that more variety in there and get stronger to do that, which again, you're already working out so much, but also to have that stretching in there. And it's also why it's so important to eat, which me and you have had this discussion. We're continuing to have this discussion when it comes to nutrition, is everybody wants to back it down and go down to this 1,200 calorie number, which is not eating much at all. When you're running for 3 hours a day, like you got to eat, you need to like fuel your body. And so it's like you get in your head of like, well, if I eat, I'm going to gain weight and I'm not going to be able to run. Of like, no, I mean,
it is crazy. We literally have been raised to think about watching our calories, fat loss and all that stuff. Like it's just like almost ingrained in us because of like our mom's fad diets growing up, Right.
Oh my God. My mom did the cabbage soup diet multiple times.
What is that?
Dude, I don't know
I'm
what
gonna
else
try
is in
it. I'm just kidding.
Oh man. Dude, you already poop at the gym every time you get here.
Oh, is that what it does? It makes you poop?
I imagine it probably does. You know what? I'm going to Google it while we're talking right here. I know that she
just steam some cabbage and
it's like, it's a cabbage soup. Oh my God. Cabbage soup diet. I remember like this was definitely the 90s.
That's hysterical.
7-day weight loss cabbage soup. So it's like you ate nothing but the soup, which is exactly
not
why
even
you lost weight. Because like all you're eating is this like
you're not putting any nutrient. You're just putting liquid. It's like literally Elle when she was only on my breast milk. It came out straight giveaway.
Yeah. So give me the damn recipe here.
The recipe is like soak a cabbage in boiling water.
So let's say it says day 1, eat only fruits except bananas. By the way, no one ever do this, please. Day 2, start the day with a baked potato, then only eat vegetables except corn and other starchy vegetables. Day 3, eat only fruits and vegetables except bananas. And God, they hate bananas.
What's wrong with bananas? They give you potassium.
Day 4, eat only bananas.
Okay, comes back around. Good.
Eat only bananas, milk, and yogurt. This is so twisted.
What even is happening?
Day 5, eat only tomatoes, 6 to 8. And protein like fish, chicken, or turkey. Day 6, only eat protein and veggies, no starchy veggies. Day 7, eat only fruits and vegetables and juices, no bananas. And then says daily, eat as much delicious cabbage soup
I was
going to
say, where's that fallen? Every day you could do it?
Yeah, but what is in the damn soup though? Like, give me I hate these things where they like, it's like they tell me their whole entire freaking backstory.
I hate
like
that.
Little Timmy went to the playground today. Like, tell me the recipe.
Give me the recipe, damn it.
So, here's the ingredients. A half a head of cabbage, 1 cup of celery, 1 cup of white or yellow onion, 1 cup carrots, 1 green pepper, 2 to 3 cloves of garlic, 4 cups of chicken broth, 14 ounce can of basil, 1 teaspoon of
can of basil.
Right? 1 teaspoon of basil. How much freaking basil is in here? God. Half a teaspoon red pepper flakes, a few shakes of pepper.
I mean, really, it kind of sounds like a good fall soup. Like if you were to puree it up, maybe put some Parmesan cheese on it.
Well, yeah, but all it is cabbage, celery, and onion and carrots, and that's it.
Like broth, basically, and then seasoning.
And then you're supposed to just motor this down every day.
Yeah, I couldn't do it every day. Like maybe a fall soup, that would be good for me. But
can you imagine how much your butthole would leak the day that you're only eating cabbage soup and bananas?
No thing. Well, bananas supposedly constipate you, so maybe it balances out.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's somebody told me that. Well, I shouldn't. I take that with a grain of salt because it was a listener or it was a follower on my Instagram because Elle eats bananas like every day. She loves them, and they were like, "Those will constipate her," and I was like, she's good.
Oh man, I can't
she
even
drinks water.
Imagine with all this stuff that you do. What's your Instagram handle again?
At Toria Cannon.
Especially with mom stuff, I imagine everybody has very hardcore opinions about what you do with your daughter.
For sure. I've been lucky to where it's like few and far between are very opinionated. I think a lot of people just genuinely like that I'm just like, F it, do what works for you. So that's kind of been nice.
Yeah. Well, we were just talking earlier while we were training upstairs that we both follow Paleo OMG
yes,
on Instagram.
I love her Instagram.
And she said she had to turn off her messages because so many people were just climbing in her butt about she's pregnant about everything that she should do and shouldn't do. And I'm like, man, the internet can just be so
You don't
aggressive.
think, like, do you think that she's not talking to her doctor about any of this? And what's so funny to me is when I got pregnant, like somebody was like, oh, you can't work out and have your heart rate above this, right? And my actual doctor, when I finally had an appointment with him, because we had the first appointment to like confirm the pregnancy, hear the heartbeat, but I didn't see my doctor in that appointment. So then like weeks later, we see the doctor and he's like, you can do whatever workout you want. He's like, obviously, once you get further along, you don't want to be laying on your belly to do workouts. Well, you don't
want to be on your back too much.
Yeah,
either.
And he's like, and then you don't want, like, I think it's like past 20 weeks, you don't want to be flat on your back. Mm-hmm. But he was like, you can do whatever you want. You can have your heart rate. He's like, as long as you're not like overdoing yourself to where you physically feel like you can't go anymore. He's like, but no. He's like, that's an old wives' tale.
What kind of exercise were you doing while you were pregnant?
Oh, Orange Theory.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, up till what point?
I think I worked out till I was 37 weeks along, and it wasn't because I didn't feel like it. It was mainly just like it got really hard to get in the gym because it was like COVID obviously still happening, and then I wanted to be extra cautious because you had to get like a COVID test before you went into the hospital, and I was like, I don't want to be in isolation the hospital. It's just like different times. But I think it was like up to 37 weeks that I worked out. She was born at 39 weeks and like 6 days.
Is that so? This is a really dumb question, and I should know better. But like, what week do you give birth on? Where are you supposed
your
to?
Gestational period is it's like 40 weeks.
Okay,
they'll let you go 42 weeks. At least my doctor was just like to let baby like come on their own if baby decides to, but they don't like to go over that. And I had some woman in my DM saying that baby should come when she's ready, and I was like, honestly, there's been so many studies that show that you start to leak the amniotic fluid that the baby's in. And that's why that they induce you, like, is to keep the baby safe, because once the fluid is gone, like how's the baby? It's like, it's just not healthy for the baby.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm not going to go like 50 weeks. I'm going to go. And then she wound up coming on her own. So it was no big deal, but I am not against like induction as long as it keeps like the baby safe. I'm like, I trust the science that people have studied over my brain. Like, I don't know anything.
So how has exercise felt post-baby?
It's felt good. It did take my abs are still coming around because I had a C-section. So it is weird. There's certain times when I feel, I can like feel it like tugging or whatever, but I just need to get back into, I was going to say, I'm getting back into that routine, which is really nice because there for a minute I had slid off and not been as consistent, so I can feel that.
It's hard being a new mom.
You know what? It really is, and I feel like, and everyone's like, that's just an excuse, but ultimately, it's like finding a babysitter to go to the gym, or like I have to get up, at 6 a.m. to go work out, which is fine. I could totally do that, but on nights where she might not have slept through the night, and she does thankfully sleep through the night, but there's every once in a while she'd get up. And it's like, that's freaking hard. I mean, it's hard on the mom especially. Yeah. Because it's like, you're just exhausted.
Are you going to try running with Ellen a stroller?
I don't have a running stroller, but my girlfriends, I live in a neighborhood that they all run. They're like, you can use ours. I'm like, okay.
Does that sound exciting to you?
No, not in my neighborhood. No, I'm not even kidding you. You've never been to my house, but I mean, the hill is like, woo. I mean, it is like a roller coaster.
I've never been to your house, but you want me to come over and help you meal prep sometime,
Yes,
right?
yes. We can walk the hill.
Okay.
If you're feeling up to it. I mean, it might be
yeah.
chilly because we'll meal prep soon, but.
That's all right. I've been hiking every weekend. So
perfect.
Out in the ice.
Yeah. You're skilled and you got this.
So, so that's where do you feel like your biggest struggle points with nutrition are? Because you're talking about like not knowing macros, but like especially being a new mom, like you just find yourself kind of just snacking on Elle's foods all day.
Well, you know what is surprisingly is she eats so good. Like I had this realization that I'm like, if I just freaking ate what she ate, I would have no problem with this. Every day she gets a fruit, she gets a vegetable, she'll have like her yogurt for probiotics. She has one slice of bread with some like raspberries squished up on it. She'll have an avocado. And I'm like, okay, she has her carbohydrates, she's got her fats, she's got egg, I'll make her egg, she's got her protein. I'm like, this girl. So I have found myself eating what she eats. Like I'll prep what I need to prep. I need to like start measuring it out more. I've been trying to be heavier in my egg, get all that protein in. But I'm like, this girl eats so good.
Yeah.
I just need to do the same. And I need to meal prep because I keep telling myself, oh, I'm home, so I can just prep it day of. But I don't want to once I get into it.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm like, I just need to and for me, it's not, I can't do like 7 days. I like to have like 3 days prepped and then do more because I like it to be a little bit more fresh. But I just need to get into the habit of doing that. So I always have something available.
I will say, first off, Elle's a little fashionista.
Oh, yeah.
And then I love that picture, which I know that one of her pictures got shared on the news here in Cincinnati in her little Bengals gear. But I'm like, I don't know how the one didn't go viral where she's like in her little Bengals gear and then the girl was in like your neighbor
my
was
little
in the
niece.
Chiefs.
My niece, yeah.
And it was crying after they lost. And
my
I'm like,
brother is
so
a
good.
diehard Chiefs fan. He has been since he was 5. Don't know why. I swear it started out just because he liked the color red, but he's been a diehard like his whole entire life. And I uploaded that photo and I forgot to ask his permission, and I should have because she is a baby. And he was just like, everyone's going to make fun of my little girl. And he's like, people are going to share that and they're going to make fun of her. And he goes, because that's some crap I would do. Like, I always make fun of my friends' kids. Like, he jokes around with them, And I was like, your friends would send you stuff and make fun of her. Like, not like whatever. So I called Bridget, his girlfriend, and I was like, hey, I'm so sorry. I should have asked your permission. She's like, Toria, I thought that was the funniest thing in the world. And I was like, do you want me to take it down? She's like, no, I think it's hilarious. My dad wants you to send it to him so we can print it off.
Yeah, so she's
like, my brother's just being a drama queen.
Or she's in all her Chiefs gear crying.
Yeah.
And Elle's just like, yeah.
What's funny is she was crying because the dogs, we had mine and my sister's dogs there. They barked and it was like, she did that like little baby shiver where she was like, what was that sound? And then she started crying. So it was just like funny that we were taking pictures of them together and we happened to get that one.
How many pictures do you have of Elle on your phone?
Oh, 1,600. And Bean, my dog. Oh, yeah. My babies through
the dog
and through.
That you censor the butthole on.
Yeah,
all the time.
I've been censoring my toes lately too.
Oh, you can make that money, girl. Don't put that out there
you
for
think
free.
So? I should do that. I don't have a job, so could do that. OnlyFans account.
Yeah, I mean, so I have talked to multiple people that have really like looked into that of doing the feet picture thing, but it's just when you look into the like back end of taxes and stuff, it gets then like, oh, well, other people got to know what you're doing. I guess if you don't care.
I don't care. If people in Cincinnati knew I was selling my toes online, I think they'd be like, wow, what a business. She literally just sits at home and takes pictures of her feet.
Right? Well, not even on top of that, there's so much people selling their underwear, dude. And then you get even prime like cost, like if you used your underwear after a workout.
Well, I'm not wearing any, so I'd have to sell my entire leggings. But I sent you this morning. My side hustle was Farrah. Remember Farrah off Teen Mom? Yeah. Now she's selling jars of her own poop.
What?
And she based it off of the fact that there was a woman selling jars of her farts. And she was making $50K a week.
What?
So Farrah was like, I'm going to piggyback off this and I'm going to cotton swab my poop and put it in a jar.
Man, I am failing at life.
I mean,
$50,000 a week from selling farts?
Seriously.
In a jar.
Seriously.
And Farrah from Teen Mom. Oh my God. I haven't heard that name in a while. I used to love Teen Mom.
I used to love Teen Mom too. She was a wackadoodle, Farrah was, but what a businesswoman.
What else is she doing now besides selling poop?
She still sells like dildos and stuff.
Oh, I didn't even know
She has
was
like her
doing
own
that.
line of sex toys.
Oh, okay. The more
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
I was unaware. What are like all? Are they still doing that show? Are they doing updates of like Chanel and like all of those girls?
I don't keep up with it personally. I don't think Fair's been on there for a few years, but I don't know. I just happened to see it. It was on like Barstools or something, and I happened to see that this morning, and I sent it to you. I was like, my new side
Did you
hustle.
send it to me?
Yeah, I sent it to you on Instagram, but it was like 6 this morning, so you probably haven't even seen it yet.
Oh yeah, because I had clients this morning at the gym. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh my God, that is amazing. Jeez, yeah. The things that people do, and then you hear how much money people make doing that stuff. I'm like, why am I having such a hard time figuring out life when people are just doing the dumbest crap?
Exactly.
And making so much freaking money.
I am one of you're gonna make fun of me. I love ASMR. Like if I'm going to bed, I love to hear like someone whisper to me, like whether it be like whisper, like reading a book or like tapping on things or whatever it might be. And I'm like, there's this girl on TikTok that I just like adore. I think she's just so cute. And she has like 600,000 followers. And I can only imagine she'll go live from 11 to 2 every night, which I'm like, that's a lot of dedication. But
when you do lives, can't people pay you? Like they can send
they can Venmo you and stuff.
Yeah, that's why she's doing that.
I mean, for sure. I've never Venmo'd her. I don't interact. I just like turn it on and like listen as I'm falling asleep. But I'm like, she's got to be like making oodles of money doing this.
Yeah. Well, they have that option on Instagram too. I forgot what it's called. Basically the thing where if you go live, where people can send you those like little Venmo gifts or whatever, and people can pay you.
The gifts. I don't understand what that is, but I've seen it.
I don't either. And this is where I feel old because I'm like, well, I don't want to do that because it feels, I don't know, it just feels weird.
Let's go live one time.
We can.
Me and you.
And then, but I also feel like I don't ever watch lives at all. Anytime I see a live on Instagram or TikTok, scroll. Like I have zero interest in watching any lives. So I'm like, why would I want to do them whenever I get annoyed. I get really annoyed when I'm actually trying to tap on something and there's like a live notification. I accidentally tap on. I'm like, no.
And then you have to get out of it. That's the worst. Like the only lives I watch are on TikTok, and it is like that ASMR thing. Like there are other people that get on there and do lives. So what happens is if you are like me and you watch it like almost every night to put yourself to sleep, you can scroll and it'll be other ASMR people. But every once in a while you'll get just like a random live that's in there, and it's like there's like 4 people watching, and I'm like, why are you even on live right now?
Right?
Like, what are you talking about?
What's on your TikTok algorithm? What videos do you mostly get?
I'm gonna show
currently?
you. Let me bring it up. Probably just comedy stuff, weird stuff that I sent you. The one that is like, why am I the only one that's popping my right now? Like that. How many times have we sent that one back and forth to each other? Just like funny things. Actually, I see a lot of like true crime stuff too. Like I always get interested.
I'm not into that.
I'm not, but I like the houses. Like when they're like, oh, my house was involved in this murder. I'm like, oh, that's interesting.
Would you live in a murder house?
If I got a good deal on it, as long as
like there was a mass murder in in that house, you'd be like, yeah, I'm down.
It depends on if the ghosts are nice.
I can't imagine they'd be very nice if they were like brutally murdered.
But like if the murderer was murdered in the house, he might or she might be a good ghost. Might not be a good ghost. But like if you were murdered in the house, you'd come back like, what's up? I feel like, you know what I mean? Like you'd be like, well, it sucked I was murdered, but like, hey.
Unless you don't know you're dead.
Yeah, that's true. Like
like
that movie, The
ghosts.
Others, with Nicole Kidman, where like they're the actual ghosts in the house. And sorry, that was kind of ruining.
Spoiler alert from this movie that's 15 years old. Spoiler: the Titanic sinks.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, my TikTok algorithm goes from funny videos where, every day is different, and I have different levels of like how much I actually am on it. Yeah. But sometimes I'll just get this really whacked out stuff, and it's different who I send different stuff to too. Where I'm like, oh, this is this person's sense of humor. Or then I'll of course get like weight loss stuff, or which I actually don't really enjoy a lot of the weight loss stuff because I feel like people are so aggressive with their kind of like, you have to do it this way or whatever.
And or followers and listeners, I say listeners, followers see that and they think, oh, I should be eating exactly what she's eating. And it's like, I don't know, not everybody's the same. Maybe she's eating 1,800 calories, but you should be eating 2,000. You know what I mean? It's like everybody's different.
Well, and that's where I learned that lesson. So for people that follow me on Instagram, that because people will ask me all the time when I do my meal prep Sunday of like, or put up recipes, like tell me what you use, or when I post what I eat in a day of like, tell me what it is. And I'm like, I won't, because this is specific to me and it's not going to be helpful to you, because I learned that lesson early on when I first started doing that, sharing what I ate in a day. I would write exactly what I ate and the amounts and everything.
Yeah.
And people were doing that to a T. And the one kind of turning point was one woman messaged me because I was making like a protein smoothie. And she's like, well, do you use ice? Because I don't like ice. And I'm worried that I'm going to have to put ice in it. And I'm like, whoa, like where this is a level
too,
that I'm like, okay, I didn't realize people were going that. Like, this doesn't mean equal results for you. I don't know how tall you are. I don't know your weight is. I don't know what your activities are in the day. I don't know your medical history.
Yeah.
And so it's like, okay, I'm like, I can't post this anymore because I don't like that could end up being harmful for people. And so I think that's just something that I had to just learn from myself. And I know that's frustrating for some other people, but I'm like,
honestly, it doesn't matter what you post. Like I've noticed sometimes too, like you'll post something and you'll tag like, what is it that you with the little leafy, the lettuce and
80 Acres Farms?
Yeah, you'll like post that and then someone will still message you like, where's that from? What brand is that? And it's like, really?
Yeah, that happens all the time.
Yeah.
Or I'll post where I went hiking and then
tag it, and
people are still like, "Where's that at?"
Yeah.
And then like again, this is I don't know, just the internet. And so I've had a couple of people that have told me their unhappiness of the places where I've gone hiking, and I'm like, I've never had an issue here before, so I'm cool with it, and I'm sorry if you think I'm promoting a place that.
That's how I am too. It's like, I mean, not to like talk about something totally different, but like my husband and I just did something in our life and we had the best experience ever, like 3 years ago. And then my friend is doing the same thing we just did. I don't want to talk about it, like what the brand is, but she had like an awful experience. And I'm like, I'm sorry that you felt that way. I'm like, but ours was amazing. Like, it's like, not everyone's going to feel the same way.
That's just what's hard about the internet in general. And I think we are all dealing with this.
Yeah.
It's just because everybody has, because it's not, if you would never say some of these aggressive things to someone's face.
Yeah.
But you can write it in the comments or send a DM, whether you know them or not. And it's just like, dang, dude, I'm just trying to out here like live my life like everybody else. And not that everybody's like that.
I'm surprised somebody hasn't pinpointed that I've gained weight. Nobody says anything.
Oh, no, God, I hope
but
nobody
people
says
do
anything.
that, you know? I mean, I'm lucky enough that nobody really has, but people do it.
Yeah, people can be so mean. Like an example is when we both still worked at the radio station, like I would do show prep and I would go to like the Today Show Facebook page to see whatever light fluffy story it was. And it would be like, here's a way to fold towels. And if you read the comments, it is just insane. These people are so angry and losing their minds. And I'm like, first off, it's the Today Show Facebook page. Yeah.
Also, there is one way and only one way to fold towels. So
is there?
If you fold them wrong, you're not my friend.
Okay, how do you fold them?
I'm just kidding. But you should fold them like into threes. I have a whole folding thing on my Instagram.
Oh, jeez.
I love to fold laundry. I mean, I'm not a psychopath about it, but I
did.
I
did have to say that. Then you
did tell John never to touch a towel again. I said, let me fold them. But yeah, I love to fold like clothes, t-shirts, everything.
Oh God, I am the opposite. I like to roll towels. So sorry, I guess we can't.
Okay, I mean that's nice.
But I have in my bathroom, I don't have a shelf. So I have like baskets.
Okay.
So I roll them and then I stick them in the baskets.
Yeah, you utilize the space you have. That's smart. And that's aesthetically pleasing. But John would just fold them all different ways. So when he put them in the cabinet, like some of the tags were hanging out weird. And it's just like, that does not look, and my cabinet is like a junk cabinet, but my towels look good. Like everything else, crap everywhere. But my towels look nice.
Yeah, see, I'm not like that. With sheets and stuff like that, I'm like, they can just be folded half-assed and be thrown somewhere.
I fold them nicely. I love a good fitted sheet fold.
Oh God, yeah, no, I'm the opposite. It's like I can't figure this out. Like just whatever.
And everyone complains about like folding baby clothes. They're like, oh, when you realize that your laundry is just towels to fold, like yay, it's a win, and it's not like a bunch of tiny people clothes. And I'm like, I love folding my tiny person's clothes. I love folding her onesies. Her dresser and closet is way more pristine than mine. I love folding her clothes.
Well, you should do some TikToks on that.
I should. Although there are people that are way better than me at folding.
So
they'd be like, hey, there's a better way you can do that. And
well, if you're going to stop yourself,
is this recording?
No, you just double flip me off. No, there's no video to this. No, but I think that's where people don't create content. And I find myself in the same sort of thing.
True.
Because you're just like, oh, somebody does it better and whatever. But it's like nobody else is you though.
That's
because I mean, how many babillion other health and fitness podcasts are
That's
there?
true.
So it's like,
but there's
well, should
only
I
one
not
Amanda
do this?
Valentine.
That's right, girl. So it's like you just got to do it anyway.
I should just start doing
And
it.
no matter what you're gonna do, people are gonna bitch about it.
Yeah.
Like no matter what. It'd be like post a picture of kittens and people are pissed off if they're not puppies.
Yeah.
So it's just like you gotta. I don't know. It's a thing to work through because it's stuff that does bother me, and I never try to like intentionally hurt anybody or do anything.
No.
But you also have to just kind of be like, whatever. This is their shit, not mine.
Yeah. I love the get ready with me TikToks too. Like I just love seeing like the fashion side of stuff. Like, and I like to follow people that are around my same size because I've been struggling right now since I have gained weight since L, like finding what works for me. And my problem is that I am like up a size in jeans and shirts and stuff, but I don't have a job. So I can't just be aimlessly spending money. So I'm like, I just really need to focus on getting like back into the size that's comfortable with me. Like not really on my weight, but just on getting, so I don't have to like buy a bunch of new things. Like it just becomes so expensive.
Goodwill, dude. Goodwill.
That's true.
When I was losing weight, like Goodwill and thrift stores, like you can like shop around and try the different stores in
That's
different
true.
neighborhoods, and you can find some really good stuff.
Kenwood, Goodwill around here, because that's like Kenwood is like good
Yeah.
dollars. I'm like, you can find some like really good name brand things in there. I've never been, but my sister will go sometimes. And the things I'm like,
you can find stuff with tags still on them,
Yes,
and so it's just
crazy.
like so that's a helpful. But then it's also like a crapshoot every time because it changes every day.
Yeah.
So it's like you can
Yeah.
go in there and find nothing, but go in there one time and find like 15 things.
right, exactly.
But it's helpful definitely as you're like fluctuating body size, so
Yeah.
you're not just dumping
That's
like
so
money.
true because I'm like, I want to buy like new jeans and stuff, but I want to wait until like, but why buy them when I have jeans that are what I want? They just don't fit me right now. I'm like, I just gotta, and it's like I'm this close to having them be comfortable. I just gotta freaking keep doing it. Just gotta keep working hard.
Well, you're getting there. You're working
Yeah.
really hard.
Yeah.
Speaking of, I know you gotta run. You gotta go upstairs and take a shower, maybe poop again.
Gotta get myself a spray tan. It's like when I'm away from the baby, I'm like, I try to knock everything out. So we got workout, podcast, spray tan.
Yeah,
Maybe
there
I'll
you
stop
go.
at the grocery on the way home. I don't know.
Oh man, busy day.
I know.
So if people want to follow along, Instagram's the best place to find you, right?
Yes, at Toria Cannon. I'm on there all the time. I live in my stories, basically. It's probably annoying, but I don't care.
Yeah, again, just whatever. Do your thing. All right, awesome. Thanks, Toria.
Thank you.
AmandaValentineBites.com.